Hi, I'm Rose, and this is the Sovereign Soul podcast. I help people to reclaim their personal power in order to get sovereignty over their own soul, and this in turn improves their relationships and it improves resilience inside of you or them or us, as well as de-stressing, and overall it helps people to live happier lives. But the main reason why I have created this podcast, or why I even do any of the work I do, is to try and help the world be a better place. We cannot change the world, but we can change ourselves. And when we all take responsibility for ourselves, we actually have the power to change the world. I myself can have ideologies and things and hopes that I would aspire to, dreams, but the reality of the world is very different to the picture I would like it to be in my head. And I'm sure that is the case for many people. And if people are very honest with themselves, they're not going to carry a cognitive dissonance. They're going to be real. This is the state of the world, but sure, this is how we'd like the world to be. So I want to start this podcast series on the ideal world. And I invite anybody who's listening to join me to create that. And the only way that I can understand to create an ideal world is through healthy leadership. And since we seem to be in a situation globally where leadership is dominating the people on the planet, and not in a healthy way, not in a good way, the only thing that we can control and the only thing that we can change as individual human beings is ourselves and the world we live in, and the influence that we have on the world around us, our world directly around us. Everybody lives in different circumstances and situations. I myself am a single mom of 4 kids, and that, of course, is mostly where my world sits, and that is mostly where the influence of who I am will sit. And I want that to have the ripple effect into the world, that I have helped raise healthy, happy human beings, and emotionally healthy more than anything else, spiritually healthy, mentally healthy, so that these people can go out into the world with a ripple effect of being the change they want to see in the world. And we all have that power and capacity, not only as a parent, but anybody that we are in contact with. I am sure that no matter whose life you touch, you can influence it in a positive way by being the best version of yourself. So how do we create an ideal world? We create it by being the change we want to see in the world, and being the leader that we wish we had, in whatever form that might have been. So it really does boil down to taking absolute and complete personal responsibility for yourself and how you show up in the world. Maybe eventually enough people will wake up, and then the world can really start changing, because the leadership will have to change when the people on the bottom all become great leaders. We cannot override the leadership of the planet. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in force, and I certainly don't believe in 2 wrongs making a right. So we have to seize control of what is in control. And like I say, that's us, that's ourselves. And that is the work that I am so deeply passionate about. It's what I think my whole life's journey has been about. It's been about trying to help myself to feel good in a world that doesn't actually feel good, because they often talk about so I don't know, influencers, people online, people who are thought leaders, they often talk about needing to raise your vibration and raise your frequency in order to make the world a better place, or that the world's frequency is changing. And I personally think that that's BS, because if you look at the state of the world, you'll notice that things are not going forward, they are going backwards. And that's why more than ever, there's a call that I feel so deep within my soul to say to people, wake up. Don't think that something outside of you is going to save you, or that there's some extraterrestrial energy that's going to come here and raise the frequency and everybody's going to live happy rainbows and unicorns. I say to people, be honest. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with the condition of the world, but then take the responsibility that you can then to raise your frequency, to be a light in the darkness, to not let the world defeat you, but instead of becoming bitter, be better, because that is what true leadership is. But we need to learn how to lead ourselves first and foremost. And leading ourselves, like I say, I keep saying and banging on about personal responsibility, but personal responsibility is the beginning of sovereignty. It is the losing of a victim. When we are in a victim consciousness or in a victim mode, we feel hopeless, we feel powerless, we feel defeated, we feel like something has control over us. When we take personal responsibility, we are saying, okay, we see the situation, but we're going to seize control over this situation, this circumstance, this thought, this emotion, this experience that we've had, whatever it might be that we have been feeling defeated about. It's moving from a space of saying life is happening to me to a space of life is happening for me. And then taking the responsibility to shift around the things inside yourself, the patterns, the traumas, the emotional responses that don't serve you and ultimately then wouldn't serve anybody. And then move into a space of empowerment, which means emotional intelligence, mindfulness, kindness, moving into a space with strong personal boundaries, but not boundaries that need to hurt others, but boundaries that actually are for the good of everyone. Because in a sense, there's only one right way to do things. And when a person truly connects with that, nobody is getting hurt in the process. And I see that so clearly. So this podcast is for those people out there who know inequality is the biggest disease on this planet, who knows at the core we are all equal and all the same, and also who knows at the core that in order for the world to change, you have to change. We have to change ourselves. And that the more of us that rise up to take that responsibility, then we are going to get the changes in the world that we see in that ideal place where everybody is kind to each other, where everybody lives in a space of equality, where everybody has enough, where everybody has a home, where everybody has food, clothes, education, that people can express themselves in ways that they feel called to, that never needs to hurt or harm another person, but their true creative expression can come through. That's an ideal world, but it isn't impossible. Earth has created a world of lack when actually, or should I say, the leaders of Earth have created a world of lack, a belief that there is lack, when in truth there is an abundance. And we need to start being able to live that in order to change that.